person with wisdom can do that. Time does not permit me, I think, to finish the other suttas and this Nidana Samyutta. There's only, I think, there's only 3 suttas left in the Nidana Samyutta that I want to read. I want to go through, but we'll have to do it tomorrow. Anything to discuss? When you look into the suttas, we find that the Buddha has a tendency to repeat. Probably he feels that by repeating, it will stick into our mind. Because if we listen to something once, it doesn't stick in our mind. So, although it sounds a bit tedious, but the more we repeat, the more we remember. That's why during the Buddha's days, the Buddha's disciples had to memorize the suttas, had to keep chanting the suttas, or this type of suttas. And they chant in the local language, so they understood exactly what they chanted. Because there were no books, they had to do this repetition. Yeah. What page is that?
Page 599.
599.
Consciousness that meant that the criminal being speared 300 times. I can't grasp the idea behind it.
This one is not very clear even to me. The commentary just says it is the rebirth consciousness. Let me see. That's 168. Footnote. It says the king represents karma, the criminal, the worldling, the 300 spears, rebirth consciousness. Now, why does it say 300 spears represent rebirth consciousness? Because rebirth consciousness is supposed to be only one. The time the king gives his command is like the time the worldling is driven towards rebirth by King Karma. The pain from being struck by the spears is like the resultant suffering in the course of existence once rebirth has taken place. What I interpret this to be is that this embryo, the consciousness comes into the embryo, and then once the embryo is conscious, then in the womb it feels all kinds of sensation, like when the mother is moving, the embryo feels pain. When the mother is taking food, also it might feel the food is hot or the food is too cold, then you will also feel pain. So all kinds of sensations come because it is conscious. So this consciousness makes him suffer because he's conscious of all the surrounding. It's like being struck by the spears. And why is he a criminal? It's because he's caught. So this consciousness is caught in the embryo. He cannot run away. He's caught in there. And he cannot do anything because they're just like the criminal tied up. So this consciousness is caught in the embryo. He cannot get out of the embryo. And the consciousness impinges on him like the spears poking him. So also after being poked by the spears, the criminal is half dead. The king see, is he still alive? Still alive, poke him some more. So in the same way, this embryo is half asleep. He wants to sleep, but the consciousness keeps poking him. So he's like semi-conscious, and the consciousness, each time the consciousness comes and pokes him. Probably that. Good of you to ask a question, so we explore it together. Any other thing?
Okay. You know, when these thoughts are also consciousness thoughts, it means when we
Yeah.
meditate,
Yeah.
and then the thoughts come in, right?
Thoughts itself is the object of the mind organ.
Because some of the thoughts you never imagine or don't think about it, and then they just come to you.
Okay.
Okay. So when you meditate, and then at the stage when you are feeling very still, and then the thought will come, and then like a very confused state lah. So how to use this one because once you are out of that, the thought will come in. So how to use that type of things to really see?
But what is your object of meditation?
Breathing.
Huh?
Breathing.
Breathing, then you continue noting your breathing, no?
So what is that? How to use this one to make you see deeper Dhamma? Because our mind after that is so habitual, cannot like.
You see, when we are meditating, we in the Buddha's teachings, when we meditate, our aim is to attain one-pointedness of mind, because it is mentioned in the Majjhima Nikaya, the type of meditation praised by the Buddha is the first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. So it's not like nowadays people say in meditation you practice vipassana, contemplation. Not really. In meditation we try to sharpen our mind. When we are not meditating, then we can practice contemplation. For example, when you study the suttas and then you contemplate. But in meditation itself, you are trying to sharpen your mind, trying to attain the jhanas. So you go back to this object of meditation. But sometimes for some people, he cannot see that object of meditation. Maybe say like the breath, he's contemplating on the breath. After some time, the breath has become so fine and the mind has become tranquil that he does not see the object. He cannot see the breath. And the mind is in a tranquil state and he doesn't know what to do. In that case, you can change your object of meditation to focus on this awareness itself, because in that tranquil state, you have only this awareness, this knowing in your mind, right? Nothing else. So you can examine this knowing, because this knowing is the source of that I. Whenever you feel I exist, it is in this knowing, this awareness in your mind. So you examine that awareness, that knowing mind. You can stay with it, or you can try to examine where does it come from. Try to look for the origin of this knowing.
Because once you are out of that, your mind habitually will think back of your habitual lifestyle, or maybe many lifestyle.
This one you have to look into the sutta. The Buddha has spoken the sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya, how to get rid of the asavas. So there are many ways, like thinking of something different, thinking of something pleasant. You can also do chanting. Chanting is keeping your mind collected. It's practicing sati. So if you do chanting like Namo Tassa, some people have a very scattered mind. So if a person has a very scattered mind, it's good to keep it concentrated by doing chanting. Chanting actually is a very good practice. every time we chant, our mind has sati, it's not a scattered mind. So if you don't allow your mind to think of this and think of that, then it does not go back to your old habits. Yes, but if a person has seen the Dhamma, then he understands how his behavior is different from others. So he will not associate so much with people who are too different because they don't understand him or her. So you associate with people with similar interests who are similarly interested in the Dhamma. So, because worldly people will think you have become queer, funny, you don't want to enjoy this, you don't want to enjoy that. So, that's a price we have to pay. Yeah, Arahant will not want to live with people. He will go and hide himself in the jungle.
Okay, if that's the case, the Arahant always dwell in the mind, in this, he will not want to live with the living. Doesn't that appear to the outside people that he is very selfish just for himself?
Of course. Even for a cultivator, you spend a lot of time in a cave, dwelling in a cave, people also think you're selfish. But then you see there are many Arahants having done their work. They either come back to teach or the Dhamma, or they gather disciples and teach them the holy path, like the Buddhas and many Arahants. But if a person has not cultivated himself and he thinks he wants to help others walk the Bodhisattva path and all these things, if he has a lot of defilements, very soon people will have no respect for him. Because when a person does too much, it happens very often that the person becomes burnt out. So when the person becomes burnt out, his anger rises, all these defilements arise. Because many years ago, one of our devotees told me he used to follow one Mahayana monk, and this Mahayana monk likes to do a lot of activities. And the more the Mahayana monk, the more activities he does, the more his defilements come up. So this lay person told me that he left the monk because he became disillusioned. That's the result. Unless we have cultivated ourselves to a certain extent, when we try to extend ourselves by doing this and doing that, it's risky. Risky. That's why in the Suttas, the Buddha always says, even if we spend time learning the Dhamma or teaching the Dhamma or repeating the Dhamma, we always must find time to meditate, to calm down our mind. That's why, like our monastery, we always have at least 4.5 hours of group meditation, so that we can calm down our mind, maintain our tranquility. become a transformation.